Okay, so I'm just drawing random circles here. That is probably enough right there. Okay, so let me see here what I need to do next. Okay, so now I need to, okay, I need to have them going kind of in the same direction. I need to do this one first, probably like this. So I'm just drawing some circles here related to the perspective of things. Some are, well, they're not perfect. Let's put it that way. By any means, they're not perfect. I should have done this one more on that there. I kind of corrected that one a little bit. Okay, so it's, see, that looks okay. It looks okay so far. I haven't botched it up too much. We need to put you out here. But you know what, that extra line, I don't think the extra line is going to really hurt anything too much. Okay. Oh my goodness sakes, we've got someone leaving a comment. One person leaving a comment. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Hello? Three and done guy Tappa and Rob Speakerman. Well, hello. Okay, let me get back over here. I'm just drawing a perspective. It's just lines. This is just lines. It's not really anything. It's a bunch of circles. I'm just drawing some circles here. It's perspective. And so you see how out here it starts out wider out here and then it gets smaller as it goes in. So the perspective is that the circles here are closer to me and then everything gets smaller as it goes in here. My day has been okay. You know, it's been okay. You know, I can't say much more about it. You know, I mean, I just keep to myself most of the time. I try to for reasons that I'm going to refrain from talking about right now. Because sometimes there's... I'm just going to stop right there. Not say much else because... you know how it is with when you say something on media, there's those who like to listen and want to annihilate you for having an opinion about something. So, I mean, you have them to thank if these companies have lost money on Wall Street and they lose money to their website. You have that group, those groups who are the ones who, oh, you have to go. They're the ones who have caused the trouble. And it's like, but you know what? It doesn't actually make me want to talk to people in real life, though. I just don't feel that. I just don't feel it. It doesn't make me, you know, now that they have said what they really feel about certain things, it's like, that doesn't make me feel any better about wanting to talk to some of these people in real life. It just doesn't help the cause. So... I wish I could actually get around people that I want to talk to, not those that are being forced on me. You know, it sounds like it feels like a internet rape session sometimes related to what's presented to us in real life and on the internet. It's like, you know, I'm just not interested in talking to some of them, you know, especially the Sharia law ones. Oh, what did I call it? The mushroom botherhood. That's what I'm calling it, the mushroom botherhood. That's what I call them. Because that's what they are. They purposely want to bother people. And it's like, see me, look at me, look at me. It's like, no, you're just the mushroom botherhood and I'm not interested. But I did hear, I knew they shut down the Kennedy Center thing. And so I heard Donald Trump reinforce today, like in his lunchtime speech. I did hear him say that he's shutting down entertainment altogether for 2 years. And I'm thinking that must be entertainment. Just all, it sounded to me like it's all around, all entertainment. So there's a 2-year shutdown besides the Kennedy thing for 2 years. Oh, well, thank you for liking and subscribing. And one guy Tappa. That's what I'm going to call you, and one. I don't know if that's supposed to be an E or not, but there's a 3 there and it looks like an end. What is my name? My name is 10LightStar. That's my name. I'm not giving you my real name. I'm not going to do that. I don't know why you would need my real name. You can just call me 10 or Light or something like that. So I was talking to some people on TikTok, and I asked them if they had heard about Donald Trump saying he's shutting down entertainment for 2 years. He's what he said is, oh, you have to go. He said that they can't find over there in Israel where the war is going on. And that's what it sounded to me like Donald was saying too. He said there's something really strange going on over there. He said they can't find a war over there. Um, so he said that he thinks the Ayatollah has lost his leg, but he's not positive. He's um, and there's what else did he say? He's speculating though. He said he doesn't know for sure, but he said he thought the Ayatollah had lost his leg and that he's really really mangled, and so that's what it sounds like he's saying, that the information that they're getting is that the Ayatollah is not in good shape at all. And so he said it's just not a good situation over there at all. And he said the United States is shutting down entertainment for 2 years because, oh, the protesting. I agree with him. Actually, I agree with Donald on that, shutting down the protesting for 2 years. He should have done it quite some time ago, because the protesting related to supporting that movement inside the United States, I can't imagine Donald would have liked that. I mean, and I don't know why it took him so long to actually come to that conclusion, but that's what I heard today out of his lunchtime meeting. That's what he was talking about. Was he said that because the protesting has gotten so bad inside of the United States, that they have to shut down the entertainment for 2 years, and they didn't want protesting apparently at the Kennedy Center. They knew that it was going to cause a lot of problems, and so they decided to shut down that element of entertainment with the Kennedy Center, and because they didn't want any type of protesting there. And so people tend to protest about things that are anti-American, and I think Donald is trying to steer away from that. It sounds to me like that he's trying to steer away to show that he is for the United States. And I know he's out there on a limb by himself sometimes, and he is the president, and I thought he was part of entertainment. Now he made some truths. The thing is, if he's an observer, that's what I was thinking. If he's an observer, and he observed things like I did, then I know Donald likes to talk out of his yin yang, so a lot of people do. I should put this up and see. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was thinking I need to see if there's somebody on here, because I know that somebody blocked, I think, one of the moderators I had on here. Let's see who's on here that is not on. Let me see here. You have to go. Oh, okay. So I don't see anybody on here. Now I need to go figure out how to get my my one guy back. That somebody moderated him off of my panel, and so I'm not going to be adding any more moderators onto my channel, because let's see if I can find my settings here. Permissions, community moderation. Let's see here. Who do I have set? Okay, I'm not quite sure. Standard moderators. Okay, I'm going to remove all these moderators because I don't think they have the best intentions at heart. Too many of them have, I think too many of them have moderated comments off of my channel. Okay, so I can add them as approved users. Okay, let me see if I get some people back now on my chat. No, I'm not doing any mods right now, because people have been, what they've done is they are actually deleting people that I don't see a point in having someone as a moderator when they're going to delete things that I approve of. I actually don't see that as a benefit. And so I don't know why I need a moderator. What, can you tell me why you would think I need a moderator? The only reason that someone would want to be a moderator is so that they can just delete people off of my channel. And so my channel is not successful, and then they benefit their own YouTube channel and not mine. That's the only reason I could think. You know, and kids tend to do that a lot. You know, I get that. They want to be a moderator, and then they use the excuse that they can't see people from the, you know, that used to be a quick way for people to do spam type engagement and things like that. I'm curious how this 2-year shutdown is going to go related to entertainment. I mean, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs over in other countries. And thank you. Um, and you know, but see, you know, one of the things I've realized is YouTube seems to have a pretty good hold on it right now, because we're all kind of, we can't do the things we used to be able to do. All these other websites are going to experience the same problems. All these brand new websites are going to experience the same identical problems over and over and over again. Especially when people are hiring outside of the United States for the tech jobs. When they're trying to expand that way. I don't think they realize it, but, you know, when they're not hiring within the United States and they're wanting to expand into other countries and exclude people in the United States, that's where the problems come in. And that's what they've been doing. Now I was thinking the idea is for them to make it work inside of their own country. And so now this is what I'm going to have to say. If Elon Musk wants it to work inside of foreign countries, he's going to have to go over there and work with the people in those other foreign countries. He's going to have to invest in their country with them, which I'm not sure how well that's going to work out with the United States. So if he's trying, now because he is United States related to the taxpayer money and things like that. So how is that going to look if he goes over to, well, say India or something like that, and he's supposed to be helping them with their internet? Now, India's going to have to figure that out by themselves in their own country. I believe we addressed that issue. I did anyway, in the YouTube help forum at one time. I said, you know, okay, this YouTube thing is kind of new. It's coming out. And we kind of know what the trends are a little bit. And so I said, now, if the idea of advertising, I'm drawing a perspective, circles, half circles, and circles. So it's a zentangle doodle. It's a doodle zentangle type of a drawing. And so now these are things that you can do in your own country. It doesn't matter where you're at, you know. So this is kind of more neutral content that people just like to do. I'm looking at this one. It's kind of curved a little bit. I think it would be sort of fun to make some curved ones, to start them here and then curve them around. Maybe that's for a future video, or I don't know, maybe I can work it in here in a little bit, because I don't think I'm going to color, I don't think I'm going to color it all in like some of the, like the picture has it colored in. I don't know that I want to do that. Oh, you're an artist too. Yeah, I do. I really do like to draw a lot of things. I have a lot of art on my channel, a lot. Um, and I'm actually working with the AI, between my art and the AI right now, because the AI takes my art and turns it into animations, which I think is a lot of fun. I will probably do that a little bit later. Take this and turn it into an animation. I really like drawing figures too, because for a long time I struggled, especially when I was younger. I struggled. I wish I would have had YouTube around when I was a kid, and I probably would have learned the techniques of drawing a little bit sooner. But I mean, it's here now, and so the techniques and how to draw and things like that. Um, I have an understanding of them better than I did when I was a kid. I kind of gave up because I was feeling like I had to draw it exact. I didn't know anything about shading. And so if we wanted to learn about a lot of this stuff, we had to pay to take, I would have had to go to college and learn how to do some of the fine art skills, where now I can just learn the fine art skills on YouTube. And so, oh my goodness, I forgot to add in the half circles right in here. We've got, but I'm going to be curious to see where the direction of the dialogue goes when people find out that there's not help for the gig economy. I'm curious as to that direction, because then there's going to be people who are upset, people from foreign nations who are going to be upset at the United States. I guess I don't know why they would be upset at the United States, because I mean, we can't pay them unemployment. If they were employed by somebody, they're going to have to take that up with them. So when you were a kid, wow, W9T7E says, when you were a kid, you learned how to draw thanks to video to learn how to draw pretty. And so I kind of have a feeling that some of the foreign nations who have come into the United States with travel and tourism, I think, I mean, I don't see it overall as bad. It's just that there's some mean agendas taking place right now, and that's not healthy for anybody in the world. And unfortunately, that that's the directions things have gone with the protesting and things like that. And so, and the thing is, I do see it for the arts, communities, because it is really big with travel and tourism. There's huge connections with travel and tourism. But travel and tourism in the United States and around the world is rather bloated where it comes to money and things like that, where it comes to Wall Street. And, and even with the understanding of, where we call it, tampering with things that doesn't belong in other countries. It's like, I know I'm tired of people from foreign nations telling me who I should be voting for, wanting my personal information. Well, it's not taking me too much time right now. Oh, you came back. Yay, you came back. Okay. So it's not taking me too much time. How long have I been on here? 28 minutes. So I just started with a circle. I just made a whole bunch of random circles, and then I just kind of went down the perspective of the lines. And so you see how, I mean, it's not that hard actually to do. It does take a little bit of time, but not that long. Um, I'm going to show you one. Okay, so I'm just continuing on with this right here, like that. Sometimes it sounds like there's bombs dropping outside. It really does. It sounds like there's bomb. I've been hearing that for the past several years. There's loud booms and bangs and bombs and oh my gosh, unbelievable how many, it's like I'm not going to say anything further for YouTube reasons. I don't want to say anything further to get the live shut down. And so, but I'm just going to call it big booms and bangs. I've been hearing that for, oh my gosh, the whole time I've lived here, for over 20 years actually. The big booms and bangs and bombs and, I mean, it's kind of something that, and sometimes there's smoke that comes along with them, so I mean, it's gotten really, really ugly in the United States. I mean, I can't tell you how ugly it is in the United States right now. All this stuff going on. I would not advise anybody to come to the United States. In fact, other countries should put out an advisory against their people coming to the United States due to the civil unrest and protesting and things like that. I mean, especially the protesting. And I'll heed the president's warning. I'm going to listen to him. And that he has more intelligence than I do related to this issue. And he was talking about that related to the protesting. He said it's not good. And I'm going to take his word for it and believe him. I mean, because the things that I've seen, the sentiment with people on the internet, and oh my gosh, and in real life too, I mean, it's not something to mess with. I mean, there's people who get very, very angry for some very strange reasons. Things they shouldn't be, you wouldn't think they would ordinarily be angry for. So, yeah, it really does feel like there's a war going on inside of the United States, and at times there is. I mean, you saw all that land in California that was devastated. I mean, it did, like people said, it looked like somebody dropped a bomb on it. And in Hawaii, same thing. It looked like somebody dropped a bomb on it. I mean, there's a bona fide war taking place inside of the United States. So I would just advise other people to stay in their own countries and not come to the United States. Now is a bad time for travel to the United States. Maybe a time in the future, but right now, and the thing is, none of us know who is doing it. So there's all this stuff taking place, and we don't know if it's somebody in our own country or if it's somebody from another country. And, so, that's just my thinking. It's just stay in your own country and don't come to the United States right now. I mean, I know other countries have the same problems going on in their country. And that's what Donald Trump was talking about. He was talking about something over in the Middle East. Was it Iran? I'm not sure which country. He was talking about that they don't even know which. They have no idea who is hurting them over there in that other country. They don't know. Somebody is. All they know is somebody is, and they're trying to pinpoint it. You have to go do some homework. They're trying to figure out who is doing it over there, because they said that there's all this devastation that's taking place, and they're not quite sure who's doing it. They said somebody's allowing for it to happen in Iran, and they said they've taken things out over and over and over again, and whatever the element is, it keeps coming back. They said they have no leadership. They don't even know who they're supposed to talk to. They have no idea. He said they have no idea. They said they've been trying to get a hold of someone to talk to, but they don't know what it is. They don't know what it's steering. Oh, you came back. Yay. You came back and one guy. Thank you. I'm so glad you came back. And so they said they're trying to figure out what exactly it is that they said they're trying to find out who they talk to. He said they don't even have a leader. And so if you recall, Donald was talking about the Ayatollah, and I know I'm repeating myself. I don't want to do that. This looks pretty good. I like that. Let me look at this other drawing that I was... There was a little bit more extra. I am looking at another drawing here, and my goodness, I kind of want to fill it in, but at the same time, I don't want to waste my ink. But you know what? It's going to be... Okay, let me do a little bit. Let's see if I do it lightly like this, what happens. I don't have a dark marker to work with right now, because these turn out really, really pretty when we fill them in completely. I've done that before, filled them in completely. I don't know if this will work or not, or if it's going to be dark enough, or... I don't know, I'm just scribbling right now. Maybe I should have left it with a completely light background, I don't know. Well, maybe what I can do... No, I'm just going to keep doing it like this. So I don't want to waste too much of my ink, but I'm just going to fill it in like this and see what I end up with. I can't get into any of my other art supplies right now due to some reasons, and so I don't have any of my other markers that I had at one time. I wish I could. I wish I had my supplies, but I don't. Maybe what I could do is, let's see how that looks. It's really not dark enough. Let me go look and see if I can find something that's a little bit... I might have something hidden away somewhere. And let me see here if I can find something. Oh my goodness. Are you going to be in here? I don't think so. But let's see. Let's see if there's something in here that I can use. This might work. Okay. This might work. If the pen works, let's see if the pen works. It might work. Okay, I'm going to see if this pen works. Okay, yeah, that's a lot better. Oh my goodness. That's a whole lot better than this pen I was using. Even though that pen I have, it does have ink in it, it's just a different color apparently. Okay, so this one might work quite a bit better. I'm not sure, but let's see what happens here. I'm just going to scribble in and keep scribbling in. Let me see if I can... I don't remember where I got this pen from. It's actually pretty nice. Oh, it does have a lot of ink in it too. Nice. So I can actually reuse this pen. Nice little mechanical pen here. I think I got it. I'm not sure where I got it from. Oops, but it does work pretty good here. Okay, so I'm going to just be scribbling it in here. And coloring in. Oh, nice. Nice and dark colors. Now on TikTok, there's people who are saying they're getting censored for using the word dark now. I don't know why, but they said they are. They said they're getting censored for using the word dark. So on TikTok, we can't use the word dark. And I'm talking about dark colors and coloring in my pen. They said on TikTok, you can't use the word dark now. There was a man who said that this morning. Oh my gosh, he was so nice. I mean, it was so nice to talk to somebody who let me talk. I mean, I can't tell you how great it was to be able to be on a panel where someone let me talk and say things. Okay, how does that look? That looks pretty good so far. So let's keep coloring. Let me go over here and see if we have any. You came back! You don't know what it is, but it looks cool. Yeah, it's not really anything. It's just perspective is what it is. It's just some little lines. And it's some lines. And I'm kind of scribbling and coloring here is what I'm doing. Uh-oh. So if I had a marker, I'd probably have this done by now. It would be nice and dark. Nice and dark. But I know at one time I was using the word dark as an alternative for something else. So to me it sounds like using, you know, where people are censoring the word dark, they want to force people into using an alternative word. So for example, if you're censored from using the word dark, then they want you to use a different word. So like with this ink pen, we typically, stereotypically, a lot of us tend to use a certain name. And I've been using the name dark color instead of the other word. And so I'm just using dark. You know, it's kind of like when you go outside, it's dark outside. It's pitch navy blue outside at night. So it's pitch navy blue because of the fact that the ocean is blue. And so at night we have a navy blue sky. I've concluded that because when I look at the sky, it's navy blue. A beautiful navy blue sky in the middle of the night. That's what I see. And so, you know, but yet there's this element of people who want to inflict pain and suffering to others on the planet Earth while we're alive. That's what I've seen in all of this. I've seen this. They're in the United States and they have such a hatred towards me and towards my family. They have such a huge hatred towards us. They want to inflict pain and suffering on us. I was suspicious of that, but after the past few years, I've seen it happen, and others have seen it happen too in real life. So it's a very ugly movement. It's ugly. I mean, I can't tell you how ugly it is. It's you know, when they use money to purposely inflict pain and suffering on another person because of who they are, you know, it proves the thing about the Jewish, the Holocaust, Christianity. It just keeps proving it over and over and over again all the time. And so with the things that the anti-sentiment of countries, and it's like, I don't have to be for a foreign country. I don't have to be for a foreign nation. I don't. No one can force me to be for a foreign nation. I support my country that I live in. I don't support the anti-movements. And they're evil people for doing that. And unfortunately, it's media in our country who is doing that. So I don't know if we're going to lose YouTube altogether for 2 years, if that's what the president was getting at. It very well could be. We might be losing our access to our channels for a couple years. That's what it sounded to me like, that we very well could be you know, when they have the Kennedy Center shut down. Unless he's wanting to I can't imagine the president himself wanting to shut himself off from media, because if we have no media at all, then he's not going to be able to talk to us, and he loves to talk to us. He loves to communicate with us. And I just can't imagine, I can't imagine that he wants to shut the internet off, but that's where the majority of the people are right now, is the internet. And so a lot of these networks from outside the United States are a huge, huge problem. And they're part of the censorship as well that takes place, because they're the ones who are implementing their little tiny rules. It's like, okay, my channel, my rules. And, you know, it's like when you go to someone's house, my house, my rules. And, you know, but you know what I was thinking about? My parents actually made accommodations for people in the past. When they smoked, my parents didn't smoke. My dad did say he tried it one time, but he said he didn't like it. Even though his dad smoked, my dad didn't smoke. And so they made accommodations for people who smoked, and I think that was probably because my grandpa smoked. And that's probably why they did that. And eventually, though, when my grandpa quit smoking, I think they still let people smoke in the house. So when my mom would have her card club and stuff like that, I could always tell the house smelled like a bar when she had card club and stuff like that. You know, I always thought it was kind of funny. I think eventually, I don't know if they all quit smoking or they went outside. You know, when times changed, they started talking about the secondhand smoke and stuff like that. Kind of seemed like times changed a little bit, and then they quit smoking inside of the house. Or I don't know if she ever fully had people go outside, or she just said, no, you're not going to smoke in the house anymore. But, you know, the relatives, they would kind of force that on people. So, oh my gosh, I'd been in places where people just lit up. They didn't even ask if you could smoke inside someone's house. They just lit up and started smoking. So, you know, it wasn't a thing of, it's just, I smoke and I'm going to smoke inside of this place. And eventually there was a time, I remember someone saying, well, could you take your cigarette outside, please? And eventually they would. I know oh my goodness, my former mother-in-law, the only mother-in-law I ever had in my first marriage, she would try to get her sons to not smoke, and they would just light up. They'd smoke anyway. She's like, I don't allow smoking in my house. They would go ahead and smoke anyway. And that's probably what I'm thinking about. I bet that is. That's probably what I'm thinking about, related to those who didn't, you know, had no respect for someone else's home. And so she would say, can you guys go outside and smoke? Well, she had a brother who smoked too, and he would just light up. So it was always just kind of like, for her, it was like a battle. I don't know if she really didn't want him smoking, or if it was just something they did. And, you know, she would say, can you go outside and smoke? And then they still smoked inside anyway. So I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. All I know is they didn't have respect for their mom. I know that much. Because if it was true that she didn't want them smoking in the house, they didn't seem to care about what she said. They wouldn't go outside and smoke. They just smoked in the house. So, but I kind of like the idea, though. Well, now our restaurants aren't even going to exist anymore. We can't even afford them because they're so gall-darn expensive. My goodness sakes, the franchising has just gotten out of hand. Actually, the president said today, you know what he said? The president actually said, he says, you watch what happens. He says inflation's going to drop like a rock. He said things are going to get cheaper. That's what he said. Now, I can't imagine that's true, but that's what he said. He said things are going to get a lot cheaper. And I'm like, really? We've been waiting for a long time for things to get cheaper, more inexpensive, and it hasn't happened yet. Um, but that's what he said today in his meeting. Things are supposed to get more inexpensive. And he said for everyone, things are supposed, and it's like, well, why does it have to be this way? You manipulate, basically what they're doing is manipulating prices. They're price manipulating through media is what they're doing. And I've been hollering about this for a very, very long time myself because I've seen it. And it's easy to see with Wall Street how you manipulate pricing through what you talk about, through what you talk about in the Middle East. You manipulate pricing. That's just how it works. Because they do have that type of influencing, and that's how they're influencing the market, is when you have a war, then certain sectors of the United States perform better. And when you don't have a war and you have peacetime, then other sectors of the United States perform better. I don't know about China, but they did talk about that the price manipulation is worldwide. And then they're still trying to push this cryptocurrency narrative and all this stuff. And it's like, well, you can call the American dollar a cryptocurrency, but that doesn't mean that it's actually all, they're, oh, well, the gold, it's not backed. It's like, and they want to put everything on there. It's like, well, okay, well, maybe there's a slow transition to changing how we deal with money. And they're also projecting that the penny will be going away. Now, this is what I was thinking about with the penny. With cryptocurrency, the penny doesn't have to go away. That's what I thought. With cryptocurrency and with the internet, the penny doesn't have to go away. Now, does it? They can just produce less pennies to be in circulation. So I was thinking, well, why would they get rid of the penny? But that's what they're projecting, because they said it's more expensive to produce the penny. But I thought, well, if it's true that you're going full on cryptocurrency, you don't have to get rid of the penny. You know what happens if they get rid of the penny? That's more price manipulation. The price manipulation is that you round it up. So if something is, for example, if something is $1.03, you would round it up to 5 cents. They're going to be able to manipulate that way. It looks like a Kikois art. I don't know what that is. Kikois. Let me see what that is. Let me go over here and see what that is. Okay, so it is an art style there. I do see that. I've never heard of it before. I've never heard of that before, but there is a doll there. That looks interesting. Oh, he's a music artist. Oh, actually, I've been doing music too. I have quite a few music videos that I have done using AI on my channel. They're not like, they're only about 30 seconds long. That's the longest I can do is 30 seconds. So that's the longest AI video I can make right now for music videos. Everybody's talking about like, oh, we don't want to get rid of music. But should we go back to talking about, I think we should talk about the price manipulation. If we get rid of pennies, then through Wall Street, there's going to be more price manipulation. Because, okay, so if you have something that costs, see, this is what they're going to be doing. The stores are going to be setting prices at, maybe $1.53. So you're going to have something on the higher side. So if you get rid of pennies, you set it for $1.53, then you round it up to 5 cents. In cryptocurrency, with cryptocurrency, you don't have to do that because you still use the penny. but if the United States gets rid of the penny, then you shortchange people. So technically you're shortchanging people if you round it up. If you round it up, then that's more money for the corporations. So I see some type of manipulation going on there with rounding pricing up in that sense. And that's what we learned in school, is rounding prices up. And so there seems to be a lobby group to get rid of the penny. I don't know if that's true. Let me look and see if that's true. You don't support AI? Well, I think I see it as job creation. I thought it was job creation for people like me, but I don't get paid. I don't get paid because of what Disney did with PewDiePie and all that adpocalypse, and then the advertisers pulled their advertising out. So I don't even get paid. No, we don't get paid. And so, okay, let's see. Is USA getting rid of penny? The Treasury announces the end of the penny production. The U.S. Mint ends penny production after 230 years. So they did that 20 years ago? Or when was the penny first produced? I would advise against doing that, actually, because there's going to be so much market manipulation in that. This isn't something... Okay, where is the official... Okay, penny forward. I don't see anything official from the United States government. As of late 2025, the U.S. Mint stopped producing new pennies for general circulation. Oh, this is a gov one. It says, why is circulating a penny production being suspended? Oh, it's just suspended. The Secretary of the Treasury has decided to suspend production of the 1-cent penny upon determining that it's no longer necessary to meet the needs of the United States. The decision was influenced by rising costs of producing the penny, which has increased to it costs $1.42 to $3.69 per penny. So it's actually costing $3.69 to produce a penny. And so it costs more to produce the penny than what it's worth. Can I still see my pennies for retail transactions? What's the legal authority to suspend a penny production? You know what that is? That is manipulating the market right there. Because, kind of like I said, then they're going to be able to manipulate money. You watch, the prices are going to be set at over... because they've gotten rid of the penny, then the prices are going to be set to like $1.95. But if they leave the penny, well, they can set something to be $1.53, but then it becomes a manipulation of sorts. If the penny's just completely gone. But there is a manipulative tactic, though, within Wall Street to just completely get rid of the penny. That's kind of what I think. And that's where a lot of the fraud takes place. I mean, we see that all the time. The manipulating of the markets and related to... Well, there's no reason to have penny stocks anymore either now, is there? They've been promoting those penny stocks. They put the IPO out of those penny stocks. Now, maybe there's some money laundering going through them, too. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not a market expert. I never claimed to be. I just have some opinions about things, but I'm not someone who's going to recommend any stocks or anything. I'm just going to... What I recommend is to not buy into it, because I feel like it's gambling and that you'll lose money. And so... I don't think I've tried it before. That's the whole thing. I've based that off of my experience because I lost money in the stock market. So, and then people are, oh, you shouldn't give up. You shouldn't give up. It's like, well, why? I don't want to give you my money. If you own that stock, then that becomes insider trading. If you're someone on the internet who's telling me I shouldn't give up and I should want to buy stocks, then you're insider trading right now, and then you're also manipulating me into buying something that benefits you. I know that for a fact because my ex-husband did that to me. So he was recommending stocks to me that he was holding. He didn't tell me he was holding them. He just said he was thinking about buying them. He didn't tell me he already had them. And then it was later that he told me, he says, oh, I had some of that stock. He says, I took some off the table, I sold it, and then I bought a little bit more, which I don't know if that was true or not, but all I know is my stock dropped. So that's how you transfer money from a wife to a husband. You know, when he has a lot more money than she does to play around with, that becomes a sort of insider trading within your own family. And it's like, so I'm just not a fan of the stock market at all. We do have commerce, we do have currency. Capitalism is something that we have, but it's not supposed to be so far out of balance like what it is right now that it's leaving everybody behind, and it is. So that's where we are with that. Now I'm just shading and filling in the pieces here and filling in trying to make it darker and darker and darker. Trying to make it quite a bit darker. Now, how does that? Well, that looks pretty good. Oh, I like that now. That looks a whole lot better. So I can just keep filling this in, filling in these, making them dark. I don't have to fill all the lines in, but what I'm seeing here is the darker the better. Darker the better. In this sense. I like that. Actually, I kind of hope that our country just shuts our internet off from foreign countries altogether. That's what I hope. I really do. Um, I like AI. I do like AI and I support AI. I just hope our country shuts communications off to foreign nations altogether. There's no reason for us to be talking to people in Great Britain. I don't want to talk to them. I really don't. Um, I don't want to talk to people in foreign countries. If you want to talk to someone in a foreign nation, you have email. Oh, he's a music artist and he has a broken heart. Is that what you're saying about the Kiku Sky? Um, yeah, I mean, I had a crochet channel where I was teaching crochet, and I lost my business a long, long time ago because of everything that the president was doing. It was, to me, all I saw was a monopoly. That was all I saw, was them trying to create a monopoly, and they were taking it around the world. And right now, I'm good shutting the internet off. The United States is still going to have trade with foreign nations. Now, this is what I will support, is actually, being able to look at websites and things like that. But as far as us communicating with people from foreign nations, I don't think we need to be doing that because it's very unhealthy. I mean, it is very, very unhealthy. That's just my opinion. And they can do things in their own country. I don't want to talk to them. I mean, there's no reason for me to talk to any of them. And if you want to talk to someone in a foreign nation that you knew or met as a friend or something like that, you can talk to them through email or something. So all this stuff that they've been doing is for the birds. And, you know, it's like, I don't have friends around the world. You know, these people who claim and profess that they have a boyfriend who lives halfway around the world and they've never met each other, that's stupid. That's the dumbest thing that I ever heard. You know, and I mean, a lot of the things they do is dumb. It's really, I don't know who's doing it, but it's dumb as far as I'm concerned. It's like, you know, you're just saying things just to do it for your own self-serving purposes and whatever your network is or whatever it is that you're paid to do. But, you know, so the thing with this is that, okay, there seems to be a few people who speak certain languages and dialects and things like that, and it's like, they're mean. They're just plain mean. I don't want to talk to any of them. They're so mean. And that's the same thing with the LGBTQI people. They are mean. They are mean-spirited. They are mean and they are nasty, especially the men who are trans. They're heterophobic. I think we have a right to use that wording. That the trans men, they're worse than the trans women. It seems to me the majority of the trans are males. They're nasty, they're mean, and they're heterophobic. They're heterophobic. And I think that them being heterophobic is something that they need to, you know, someone needs to just tell them to shut the fuck up. You know, that's how I feel like with a lot of them. It's just shut the fuck up. I don't even want to hear from you. That's what you've been telling us. I don't want to hear from you. So you can be off over there in a foreign country by your own little old self. I don't want to hear from your stupid bullshit. You're heterophobic. So it's like, what, I don't know what it is that you're doing. And if you have to be that angry on the internet, it's like you're not anything for kids, that's for sure. You're not anything at all. So get off the internet. So the thing I've said about with the gig economy, there's no safety net. And I think we've addressed this and talked about it before. There's no safety net. And so these millions of other people are going to have an awakening here soon to find out there's no safety net. And, you know, I've heard a few people say that, you know, these men, they've said like, well, I lost my job and I have no help. I've heard a few of them saying that now. And I've thought, you know, you guys didn't want to listen to me when it was happening to me. And then I was in a physically violent marriage. My husband was beating me up emotionally and physically. And so, yeah. But you know what, I mean, oh my gosh, I listened to this guy on TikTok yesterday. This is really, really pretty. My goodness, it turned out really good. I like that. Look at how it kind of, it looks almost round in there. Doesn't it look round, the perspective? It sort of looks a little bit rounded. And then these right here, right there, those twos with the broken lines there, I made them twos, those two with the broken line. I made those to kind of be like a little light reflection. There's 3 of them in there, so we can make these a little bit darker. And so sometimes the voice I was talking to earlier today just seemed like a familiar voice that I'd talked to before. And I was thinking that he was using a voice synthesizer possibly. I was thinking that. I don't know if that's right or not, if I'm right about that. But there's something, some of those voices, when I talk to them, to me, it's just kind of like when I hear certain voices, it's like I feel like everything's going to be okay. It's kind of like I feel like, okay, I'm talking to someone who is not a safe person. That's what I'm feeling like. Like this morning on TikTok, there was someone I just like. He was so nice. I mean, he really was, and he got rid of seemed like he got rid of everybody else, and he wanted to talk to me more than anything, which I thought was, I mean, it was. I shouldn't say it like that, because I said something and I said, okay, are you going to kick me off your panel now? And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. No. I'm like, why not? I felt like, why not? I expect to be kicked off your panel. But come to find out, he himself has gotten kicked off a panel, so he's very upset his own self because he's gotten kicked off of a lot of panels. So that's probably why he and I identify. We had a real conversation. It was like, my God, we had a real conversation. I talked to somebody who was nice. We had a real conversation. We talked about things we identified with that are problems, and it was just nice. We had an actual real conversation. And so now I like that now. I like that a whole lot better. So there is 2 colors of ink, it seems like. I wanted to do something really short and quick here and see what happens. I'm going to set this off to the side. I kind of want to see if this is what I want to do. So I'm using a really odd shape here. And so I'm going to start here in the center like this. I'm going to kind of do the same thing. And so I'm going to, now I made this one smaller in the center. Now I'm going to make this one a little bit larger like that. And what I'm going to do is I want to take, I'm just making a little rounded part on it like that. And so I'm doing the perspective. We're still working on the perspective. When I say perspective, it always reminds me of prospectus with Wall Street. Wall Street has a prospectus they send out, which is, I believe it's the prospectus of the company, and there's a bunch of rules and guidelines and just a lot of things that related to the companies. Now I'm going to make a larger one right here. It's a little bit larger, and I want to make a circle, not a circle, a curve. That's what I'm making, is a curve. But I'm keeping in mind the perspective. And so you see how it's getting smaller there? So this one's on a smaller scale. Okay, so I'm going to take this around like this, and we're going to curve it around like that as we go down. Like that. And okay, I still want to do this on the inside and make another ring like that. Okay, I'm going to curve this around like this. I don't think people understand, a lot of them who, the ones who, I've always said, the ones who are happy, fat and happy, and they have things taken care of, they don't understand how hard it is for people to lose a job. That's the sick part about this country and capitalism and inflation, is it's like, okay, when someone loses their job and you can't find a job, there's just no help. And then to hear everybody else pretty much call you a liar when you say you can't find a job. Everybody else is pretty much calling you a liar. That's what they're doing. Saying you're a liar. Jobs exist because I saw That's where the ugly comes out. I saw an application in the store that says they're hiring. It's like, well, fuck you, Walmart. Go fuck yourself. I hate you, Walmart. You're a big piece of motherfucking shit for doing that, because my mother and dad were always doing that and saying, well, Walmart's hiring. Well, Walmart can't hire everybody. So if you have 500,000 people in your state in a 100-mile radius, is that Walmart going to hire every fucking buddy? Is it? Is Walmart going to hire everybody? No. You know why? Because they brought people from China to work in Walmart. They brought people from foreign countries to work in Walmart. We just as well bust them out, and I'm sure Sam's Club did the same thing. I'm pretty positive that Sam's Club did the same thing. Okay, so this one I'm going to take on a little journey here. We're going to go on a journey like this. Uh-oh. You know what I should have did? Uh-oh, I didn't do it quite right. But you know what? We're gonna fix it. I'm going to leave that line in there, and we're going to fix it because I needed to start on the outside. So we're going to leave it in there. It's going to become part of the artwork. I need to start on this outside here, and we're going to take it down like this. We're going to go out here like that. I need to keep you kind of on the outside of the circle like that. Now we're going to come out and around like this, and then we're going to come out and around like that. Okay. And so I need to get you out here a little further. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to do this, and now we're going to make a half circle here. We're making the curves just like that. You know what? This is what I'm thinking. The next time someone says they're hiring at Walmart, you can get a job there. They're hiring for Uber, you can get a job there. You know what you need to respond with? They're hiring in India for prostitution. You can get a job there, mother. You can get a job there, dad. Go to India and get a job, and then see how well and how easy it is to get a job at Walmart here in the United States. Cash App, Cash App. I don't want to hear about it. I just don't. I don't want to hear about it. We hear about jobs that are supposed to exist. The thing I've always said myself, it's like, well, you know what? I went to college and I was told that these jobs were supposed to exist. So now you've got me feeling like college is a waste of money. Everybody else feels the same way too. A lot of other folks feel the same way. Oh, I like that. That looks really cool. This is really cool. This one's turning out really, really cool. Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue here, and we're going to start... yeah, this one's kind of fun because we're going to start, let's make a really big one, a big one like that. So I don't like the job recommendation people, nor do I like the career builder websites anymore because I just don't. Okay, so we've got that right there. So let's take, okay, so let's, which direction are we going to move with this one? Let's start right here. I want to start here on the outside, and then we're going to move it this direction. I'm going to move it over here, through here. Okay, so I'm going to start out here and move it this direction through there, through there. Okay, so I'm going to take it out and around here. We're going to take it out and around here like that. So we're just doing a little bit at a time. Now this tube is a little bit larger. And actually I should have made it, I should have brought you out a little bit more out here like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is make a line like this, like that. I would be curious to hear how the college teachers are dealing with job recommendations right now, because I know when I went to college, I literally had to take a course. I believe it was called practicum, possibly. I'm not sure. There was another course that I took too. What was it called? I can't remember what it was called, but I had to take another course, and it was related to creating a resume to send. And now that we've had this drawdown with, companies being closed and things like that and doing things at home, it's like, well, there goes that thing of sending a resume to people. Because where are you sending it to? Who are you sending it to? Are you sending it to China? You're bringing people from foreign nations into the United States, and they don't even have to have a resume. They don't have to have a resume at all. So you're bringing help from foreign nations into the United States, while those of us in the United States have been sent to college for these same technology jobs. And so I question the validity of what you're calling a technology job right now, because just wearing headphones on your ears or wearing earbuds in your ears is not a real job. That's just not a real job. And that's marketing. So what they did, and I don't know if Bill Gates is responsible for this, and I think that maybe he is. I think Bill Gates has a lot to do with this, possibly. Because I noticed all these people who are doing marketing on the cruise ships when they would go on the cruise ships. And it was like they would all be wearing headphones. And it's to me, it seemed like this huge effort of people who are hired to do product placement in real life. That's what I was seeing. And I was seeing them actually, where else I would see it too? The place that I saw it was when I was working for J.C. Penney's. And I was a cashier for over a year. And there was these guys who would come into the store. They would be talking on a phone. They would have headphones on. So this was back when they had a real cellular phone, but they had headphones that were connected to the phone. And so I'd never really seen anything like that before. All I know is they were talking into a headset. So they were talking into a headset, and I had no idea where they got the headset from. I had no idea. It wasn't something you could just get in a store, so it had me thinking maybe they worked for a telemarketing company. Now, the city where I was going to college at, they did have a telemarketing company. And so I would have never thought that maybe that's what it was. It's a great possibility. But I always thought it was funny because now it's normal. Now, but back then, I'm looking at these people, it's like, who in the world are they talking to? And I'd always kind of forget. So there was two guys. One of them was on a military base, and he had a headset. He was wearing a headset, and he had kids with him. He was PCSing at the time, and he had kids with him, 3 kids. He said that his wife had gone on someplace else. I think she was in the military. And so he had kids. He was a stay-at-home dad. He'd gotten out, I guess. And so anyway, he had this headset, and I think he was doing telemarketing. And so he was always talking on the phone all the time. And so he would have to tell me when I was talking to him. Even when I went to where he was at, he was doing telemarketing. He would be like, I gotta take this phone call. I gotta take this phone call. And so his kids were always around too. He always had kids, and so he was PCSing, and I asked him about it. It's like, well, that's kind of weird. It's like, what are you doing? You talk on the phone all the time, and he's like, oh, it's just something I do. He didn't say any specifics about what the job was, but he was just talking on the phone. I don't know if it was a government contracting job, maybe. I have no idea. But he had these headphones on all the time. Well, then I moved to this other place, and um, several hundred miles away. And then I see another guy come in the store where I was at, where I was working, and he had on headphones. And so I always thought it was kind of funny. It's like, well, okay, you guys are wearing these headphones and you're talking into the headphones. There is someone on the other end of the phone. But when you wear it out in public, it looks kind of funny because your lips are moving and people aren't used to this, so it looks like you're talking to yourself. And so it was kind of something that was kind of fun to make fun of for a while, you know. And I always would forget that people were talking. They were talking into these headsets and their mouths were moving and stuff, and I'd forget that they had phones because the phones were still new back in 2000. In the year 2000, the phones were still new. That was before Jersey Shore. That was before Snooki and all the Jersey Shore kids had. That was before they had the phones. And I remember the first time I saw a phone, and I saw Snooki and what the heck was the other one's name? Oh, The Situation. That was the first time I saw it. The Blueberry. The Blueberry was the first one. It's like, what is that? They've got this touch tablet thing. And I just thought, well, that's different. I didn't realize that was the direction that the phones were going, but it was. It really was. That was the direction the phones were going. And so what was that, about 2006? So it really wasn't that long ago. I mean, technology has changed really, 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 really fast in these years, related to the touch tablets, the touch phones. And I'm even thinking right now with some of the things that I do on YouTube related to the software, I've made some suggestions to them, but it kind of seems like that the software in and of itself is not perfected. You know, I thought all this software was going to be perfected. I thought it was going to be done. I thought it was already built out. But no, apparently not. And so when I make a suggestion to YouTube about something, well, this is what I'm going to say. They have a Creator Studio app. I love it. It is starting to improve slowly, and I don't know why it takes so long for it to improve, unless it's because people just don't use it, or I don't know. But anyway, I left YouTube for a little bit because of everything that happened, and then I come back, and I thought the Creator Studio app was actually going to be done, you know, or that things were going to be how I thought they should be on it, but no, it's not. So it's like, I don't know if there's a lack of interest in people using it. Maybe eventually there will be, but the direction is kind of like Canva a little bit, because I really liked Canva too. But what's happening on YouTube right now, the YouTube Creator Studio app, you know, I've been dabbling around in that. We've got AI in there. I totally love the Creator Studio app. Now I make suggestions, and I'm going to share this with you. My suggestions are always things that will benefit everyone. So it has to be a suggestion that benefits everyone. So you can't just ask for something and say, hey, I want this in here that I'm going to benefit myself for it. I don't think it works that way. You know, I'd love to have something that promotes me, but, you know, we might get a temporary bounce every once in a while, a little temporary bounce, but for the most part, when you make a suggestion, it has to be something that's going to be beneficial to everybody in the whole community. So, I'll tell you my recent suggestion. Well, hello, UWUIM Bonnie. This is this is what I'm working on. This thing right here. I'm going to put this into AI a little bit later. Do you see how it looks a little rounded? I'm working on a little bit different perspective. These ones are a little bit curvy. These are straight. So this would be like looking straight down on a city, I guess. Maybe. Well, this will be fun though, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask AI to actually have something coming out each one of these holes. I'm not sure what word I'm going to use yet, but I'm going to ask AI to have some things coming out of these holes right here. What would I use? Maybe, well, it could be light, maybe not. maybe a creature. I really like having creatures, cryptids, worms. They look like space tubes, portals. There's all kinds of different names that I can use for these. But I like having creatures come out of the holes for some reason. Worms, something that's kind of gross. It does look like a city, doesn't it? Well, it could be a flower. You're absolutely right. It could be a flower too. It does look like a flower. See, flower is beneficial when it comes to search engine optimization. Now, the thing I wanted to share, this is what I'll share with you. If I can give a physical layering perspective. Okay, so let's say this is my timeline right here. This is my timeline. Okay, because we have layers in our timelines. Now I want to add another layer on top of my timeline. So the thing that the suggestion I made to the YouTube Creator Studio is that I would like to be, they have something called an overlay, which the overlay is another, it is another track. But I want to be able to just have another track in there and put, well, okay, I want to put in a second track, a third track, a fourth track. You know, I mean, because that's traditional wording that we use anyway, or we have used stereotypically. Now, an overlay is something, an overlay in a track is the same thing. I would just like to be able to, I mean, if we can do it, if YouTube wants to call it overlay, that's perfectly fine. If they want to change from track to overlay, that's fine. But let me add another overlay / track in there. So for example, if this is, so in the YouTube Studio, this is my first track. I want to put this as an overlay, as a second track. I just want to ask my studio to add a second overlay where I can move it, and I can freely move it. And so I can take, so for example, in the YouTube Studio, this is a 8-second clip. This is a second 8-second clip. This is the transition right here. They're butted up here together. This is the transition. And so maybe, did you also make any art than this? Yes, I did. I've made a lot of art, an awful lot of art. Absolutely, yes, I did. I made crochet, actually, a lot of crochet. So what I would like to do is like copy this and this. Do we, I don't even think we have that ability. So I'd like to have these butted together. So these are kind of locked together. So if YouTube could add into the Creator Studio that we can lock these two pieces together. So I want to create another overlay, lock these two together. You two are locked together. I want to copy these two together and then paste up here on this overlay or track. And then I want to offset them. And then I want to create maybe a little spin, a little kaleidoscope of some sort, like this inside of my YouTube Creator. That's not what we call it. The YouTube, is it YouTube Creator Studio? Let me see. It's an app that's separate. I really like it a lot though. Let me, do I have it on? I gotta have it on here. Yes. The YouTube, no, that's not the one. What's the other one? The other one. The YouTube. Nope, you're not it either. That's music. You're not the one. Why do I have music on here? Okay, it's not music. Why do I have music on here? Okay, I need to delete the music. I don't need you on there. I can't delete the music because it's on the Pixel. I would rather have the Creator Studio. And see, I'm using this phone or this mobile device. And so that's what I want is, I mean, I think it would be beneficial because it kind of aligns with the traditional Adobe Premiere and Sony Vegas with the tracks. I'm sure there's other ones that people use. Adobe Premiere, what other, yeah, Sony Vegas, Camtasia. And even in Camtasia we can have tracks and we can like tap, hold, copy, but these two need to be locked together. Even in Canva I think we can lock. we can lock them together. And so it's nice to be able to lock things together in some way. So when we lock them together, then we keep them at the place that we want, and then we can unlock them later on. So, or either that, or I can tap, hold, tap, hold. How do we do that? So tap, highlight, and then copy these two, and then paste them up here in an overlay, and then place them over. And I know most people probably have no idea what I'm talking about if they're not into the internet and doing video editing and things like that. A CapCut, then I see CapCut. I have not used CapCut. There could be something like CapCut. I believe we can do it in Canva, but I'm not sure. I have used Canva, but YouTube Studio, the YouTube Studio, is it the YouTube video editor? The video editor, because I'm using my device right now that has the one that I'm talking about on it, so I can't actually see exactly what it's called, but I just call it Creator. Maybe it's Creator Studio. We have YouTube Studio and Creator Studio. We have, okay, I think it's Creator Studio. So Creator Studio would probably be similar to CapCut with what I'm asking. That's probably, you're probably right about that, because I'm going to figure it out. And so they have given us a few more things. So I have 2 ways to create video in Creator Studio right now. And I found out, this is something that's fun. I have found out when the YouTube app is busy with photo to video, I can go to Creator Studio and use that one, and it's not as busy. Most of the ads of Canva are from Canva. Are you most of the ads of Canva are from India. I didn't know that. I had no idea. So Canva is just called Canva, and it's a video editing software. It's a website. I didn't know that so Canva has something to do with India then. I mean, so I'm just using something that YouTube provides for us, that they're creating, that the whole community can use. Let me see what Google calls it in the Google store. YouTube, I think it's YouTube Create. YouTube Create. Let me see what it's called. Editing. Yeah, that's it. YouTube Create. It's in a beta. That's exactly what it is. YouTube Create is what it's called. I love it. I need to, let me download you onto my Pixel. We need to, let's put you on Pixel. Thankfully I can do that. You need to verify it's me. Okay. Let's put you on Pixel. Okay. Let's get you on there. Okay, and you connect, I don't need to connect you to Snapchat at all, because Snapchat is no good. Adobe Express AI photo video editing. Now, you know what's funny? Now they want all of us. They want us. Can you show me what? Oh, you want to see my art? I will show you my art. Yes. Let me hang on a second and I'll show you. I will show you my. Now, I have a whole bunch of art someplace else, but I can't get into it right now because I need help with something else to be. And it's like, yeah, I'll show you my art. I have some, all of this is pen sketching right now because that's all I have. I have limited. I also have crochet stuff I've made too. But right now I've just been doing a lot of drawing and things. Let's see here. Okay, so I have kind of fun doing small little things like this. Little acorns and mushrooms. I think I did something with this the other day on YouTube. I did that. Let's see what else I drew. We did this little guy like this on paper. There's nothing on the back side. And I made this little guy like that. This next one I'm going to show you, but I think people are going to hate me for showing it. This one's funny. This one's funny. If I could put this on a mountain, I would. I want to take what art I make 3. Can you tell me what art I make? I don't know what your art is. Oh, are you talking about... Now, I was told by a woman who worked in... a police officer, that she says she made artwork by making plastic silicone bracelets for people. She said she called that artwork. This was several years ago. Now, I don't know if you know who these people are. I think it would be so funny to take all 3 of these and put them on the side of a mountain, because I think it's such a satire, ridiculous looking image. But I know people are burnt out on this, so I'm going to move on. I'm not going to stay on that too long, but I think it's hilarious. Some of this is just where I do some... What's that? Oh... I do some chicken scratch on napkins from time to time, and I have made artwork on napkins before. This one, okay, this one I thought was fun. I just made a dock clock tick-tock is what I made. I made, what does that say? E-click on allow, and then I made a mushroom hanging from the clock, and then I put 226 on it, Roman numerals, because of the year 2026. And so let's see here. What else do we have? Oh my goodness. Some of these were really elaborate. This is when I was going through some of the Texas stuff. I was making this this Bitcoin guy. Bitcoin guy is what we'll call him. And he looks like a little shyster here. I don't know who that is. Who do you want it to be? I have no idea who this little shyster guy is. I didn't name him anything specifically. Oh, he has a wolf coin here. But we got a shyster guy here. Now this guy is funny. This one's funny, so here's another one. This one looks like, some people said MASH. They said he looks like Radar from MASH. He looks a little bit like Gilligan. Then we've got this one right here, just an owl. We have got another coin. I made a Happy New Year coin. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. I made, this is just really nothing. I just made, I wanted to use the word 6-7 for some reason. I made a cat. I made some hearts, and then I made kind of a Jack Frost right here. I made a Jack Frost, and then I made, I'm not sure if this says anything or not, I made some symbols in Chinese. And then let's see here what else I can find. I made this. I thought this was fun because it was on lettering. Okay, so let me find where else everything is here. Uh-oh, we don't want to spill you guys on the floor. See, I have a whole bunch of paper strips here. It's from leftover paper that I cut off of things that I don't need anymore. So like if I have a bill or something like that, not a bill, a statement of something, I'll cut it off and use it for artwork. I made this. I called it Frogurrency Ascending Chart Leapfrog. And so to me it's something I use to depict inflation. The 6-7. I knew you guys would like the 6-7. Well, there's something else related to the 6-7 I'm not going to say. I want to say about it, but I don't at the same time because I do and I don't. Okay, so this was a napkin art that I made. This was napkin art, and then I decided to add on to the napkin art and add some eyeballs on it because I thought we needed some eyeballs on the heart. So I made a heart, And then I made the heart larger and added some eyeballs to it. So we've got multiple hearts going on inside of the napkin art. So we can, well, we can actually put, we could actually put this in between. So this is kind of how I think it's fun to do art this way too, and add something in between. Kind of have a sandwich layer art, and that's where I started getting the ideas of layering. It's like, okay, the layering in real life. Now this one is really funny. Now this one's really funny. I animated this one, but for some reason I was having a hard time animating ones like this anymore, and so it'll let me animate it, then it'll tell me it's not appropriate. And it's like, well, why not? Why is it not appropriate? Because I drew this myself. I drew this. It's paper. I drew it myself, and then AI is telling me it's not appropriate to use it. And I'm like, but it's my artwork. And then now I feel like, okay, I want to scream. So this is the idiots over from other countries then yelling at me all the time, and my ex-husband's hand, and what's it say? Frustration and despair in the shadows. That's what this one is called. This one is like, you know better. And I just get so tired of them. Now we're gonna get into some good stuff here. Actually, all of it is good stuff, I think. And so we went into corporate Biblehood. Corporate Biblehood. Oh, you're leaving? We've got this little guy. And we've got this guy. And this kind of reminds me a little of Beavis and Butthead. We've got this guy screaming. And we've got this little creature. And then we've got this guy. And then this is kind of weird. And then we've got this. And then we've got this. And, oh, Skibbity Toilet. I love Skibbity Toilet. And then this thing. And then this thing. And then, go me! Yay me! Go me! What's this? Sad, outcast, loser, freak. I thought that one was kind of sad. I was feeling sad when I drew this. And so that's what happens. You're not fit to be in society. And my gosh, you know, the thing is, all of this come out. TikTok brings all of this out. Listening to these buffoons on TikTok. I mean, and the things my ex-husband was saying to me. And it's like, when he kicked me out of the house the second time doing what he did through the court system, it's like this came out worse because I ended up in a shitty-ass place. Now we've got this, the cashews. Here's the kasheeple. This one is really funny. Kasheeple. And then we've got more half. I love making the half faces. Who hasn't heard this? What woman has not heard this before? Any old port will do in a storm. Port wine. You know what port wine is, right? And then we've got the sad guy. Sad guy here. And then we've got sumo wrestler guy. He's wearing a diaper there. We could put Donald on the diaper. And then we've got this little creature. And we've got this creature. And we've got this creature. And we've got Santa. Santa and... Oh, this one. I actually made a music video out of this one just yesterday. And it turned... Oh my gosh. It turned out so good. I mean, I thought it turned out good. I only get 32 seconds. 4 videos. I get 4 short videos, 32 seconds to make the video. And then it's done. I got that guy and this guy. I made a video of this one yesterday too. This one, and then Gronk, and then I've got this one, and then I've got this girl, and then I've got another half face, an alligator, and a half cow, I think it's half cow. And then we've got the avocado toad. It's an avocado toad, so it's part toad, part avocado. And then we've got this one again. And we've got this little thing. And we've got the Cyber Monday blowout. We've got the turkey. This one I did not too long ago. Here's another Skibbity John. Here is this elephant here. Okay, so let's put you guys back away again. we're going to put you guys back away again. And now we are going to do, let's see here. Oh, we've got some, oh yeah, our little short ones. Okay. Oh, that worked out. Okay, so we've got this little guy. It's a fish, sort of a fish. We've got this little guy. And we've got this little guy. And we've okay, and we've got this little guy. And we've got, oh, this one's cool. That's a half wolf. It's a wolf on both sides. And let's see. We have got this little guy. Whoops, upside down. And we have got this little creature. And we have got this little creature. And we have got this little creature. We have got this little creature. And we have got this little creature. And we have got this little creature. See, we can knock these out pretty fast. We have got Heart of the Ocean. We've got this little creature. Now, I've actually been censored with this one too. YouTube has a hard time with some of these. And then this one, Grim Reaper, sometimes has a hard time. And I think this one might be the finger more than anything, possibly. I'm not sure. I've been censored with that one. We've got this little creature, mushrooms growing out of its head. We've got this little creature, and this little creature, and this little creature, this little creature, this little creature, and what's this one? Oh, this is the swamp. So I made some little swamp people with the airplane. Actually, I do have this one on YouTube. It's flying around somewhere. There's people flying around on YouTube running away from the airplane. This says swamp on it, and it says Air Force AF1 on it. We have got nose, nose, and nose. Nose, nose, and nose. So I made a giant nose that's sledding down the hill. You see that? Giant nose sledding down the hill. And so that's about it for what I've got right now. The rest of it I can't get because it is in something that I can't get into right now because I need some additional help with some things, and I'm having a hard time getting the additional help that I need due to some bad practices that are taking place in the area, and price gouging, price fixing, something like that. And so I'm having a hard time getting some basic needs for myself met related to things. And so did I put oh my goodness, did I hope I didn't. I think I put my one drawing that I was working on here. Did I put it in the bottom? I might have. If I did, let's see here. I didn't mean to if I did. Uh-oh, I can't find my drawing that I was just working on because I wanted to turn it into an animation. And so, anyway, oh, here it is. I found it. Good, I found it here. We need to keep you out. You two need to stay out. The rest of them we can put away. And so, yeah. So, yeah, I'll keep working on this one, and yeah, I'll keep working on it and doing something with it. And, I'll continue probably feeling like this a lot of times. Ah, we need to scream. The 6-7, yeah. Yeah, 6-7 does have some significance with a lot of things, actually. And but not the music song. I'm not interested in the music song. I'm not interested in the rap group. I'm not interested in that song at all. I'm just not. For me, it has to do with other things. And so that's why, that's the thing I hate about interest-based. It's like, just because I use a word, just because I say the word John, I don't want every man who's named John coming around just because I use the word John. And that's what this parallel thing is that's taking place in real life right now, that seems like based off interest. So I don't know if there's another type of alternative education program going on. So there's this thing, it seems like, when I say something on the internet or when I do artwork of some sort, then there's this element of other people who come around related to something that they think that is of interest to me. And it's like, it's not something. For example, these numbers 2026, I don't go around talking to people in real life about 2026, the year 2026. I just don't. And it's a calendar year, and one of the things that I've said is that this is how trends are made. We move from one year to another year, then the letters 226 are popular, and then we have some synchronicity days and a lot, so next year's going to be 227. So there you got your 226, your 227. Okay, so what? We have more trends. And so, but you know who's going to... That doesn't mean I want to see you in real life. I just don't. I just don't. That doesn't mean I have something in common with you. If you're hating on the internet, I'm not going to talk to you in real life. If you're hating on me because of the job that I used to do, or something that I like, I'm not going to be interested in you in real life. I'm just not. I'll tell you that right now. So that's how it is, So you're not going to I'm willing to delete my whole channel. At this point, this is how much I don't care about what's going on right now, because I've lost my livelihood, and I'm willing to delete it again. So if I had something that I actually could get paid to do, like when, like we thought that things were gonna work out when we started YouTube over 20 years ago, which I was just on the website. I didn't know how it would turn out. I didn't know that people wanted to create a monopoly, or that they were going to turn it into Bitcoin, or they were going to turn it into a bank or something like that. I didn't know they were going to do that. I didn't know that Wall Street was so heavily involved with doing what they do. I didn't know that, so it's like, basically it's a bunch of people doing free work for Wall Street. That's what I'm doing. It's like, right, if we can talk into the computer, we can tell the computer, so we can tell the computer what we want done. That's the programming nowadays. We can speak what we want into the AI, and it makes it for us. And that's what I'll do a little bit later on when I take a picture of this and then it shows up on my channel. I'm speaking this, so this is showing you that AI is not making this. I need AI to do things to make this come to life. Just like on TikTok, they have make your AI come to life. That's pretty cool. And TikTok has some really cool stuff too. So, I have two places where I can make the AI artwork. Some days I use up all my tokens for AI, and some days I don't. And so right now I'm not getting any views hardly again. So, so the future of what I thought was going to be something that I do that I like, then it's like, well, why should I be working for Wall Street for free? We've got a bunch of buffoons from foreign countries who are just performing like a bunch of monkeys in front of the camera. And they're not even putting any effort into learning about creating or editing a video or how to program something. It's like I knew how to do HTML. Well, that's old. That's outdated. Then they went to cascading style sheets, whatever that is. But the thing is, the foundation of the software was already there. Some other software engineer had already created that. So the people who actually work inside of the computer and do all that stuff. That foundation was already set up by people who were before us. I never had the opportunity to know how that works. But a lot of people have been telling us that with the computer, that there's software that can literally write its own self. And I think that's what we're seeing right now is software that writes its own self. It writes the software for the video editing, and so we can tell it to do something. And so right now, that's why I like to speak these things into the computer. So when I say that I'm probably going to have something in the future, maybe flowers growing out of the center of here, maybe that's what it'll be. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask it to turn this background color to blue or red or something like that, or to different hues of the rainbow possibly. I might ask it to do that, or I might say, okay, eliminate all the dark color in the background and then just leave this part. And that's all I want. The same thing with this. I might ask AI, if I just leave it like this, I'll finish this part right here. But I might ask it to make two of these and then see what happens from there. Is my pen is not working. I know I'm not out of ink. Now it's not working? Why are you not working? Maybe I did run out of ink. Maybe I did. Nope, I didn't run out of ink. That's all it takes is a little bit of tapping and we got the ink coming back down again. And so maybe I'll ask AI to make this spin. It might spin or something like that. So, I mean, right now what we're seeing, the software engineers have said there's no need for them even. Is that true? That AI has taken over so much that we don't need software engineers anymore? I think we do, though. If something goes terribly wrong, okay, this is the funny part to think about. Now we have lawyers going ballistic and nuts over on TikTok because they're getting censored. Now the lawyers are the ones who are supposed to be rationalizing freedoms. And they're the ones who get the most angry right now. There's a lot of them over on TikTok, and they're getting censored off of places left and right. And then they're trying to rationalize legalese of the internet, and it's like, well, we really don't have any. We're in Wall Street right now. Corporations are people too. Don't you guys know this? I mean, this is what corporations are people too means. I mean, the Supreme Court won't decide on if corporations are people too. They tell us, oh, well, you're killing someone's business. This means you're killing, like the guy Sam Bankman. But for TikTok purposes, we can't use the word kill. We murder. Yes, I know I'm live. I know I'm live. I'm a real person. And so, and you know, so I'm a real person. But I have gone head to head with lawyers. And I think they know they're full of crap sometimes. Or I'm probably more on the same team and aligned with them than anything, I think, a lot of times. I probably understand lawyers a lot because the internet has a bunch of crap on it right now. And okay, so let's say we're in the corporations or people too right now, which is into the sovereign citizen movement and into the trust. And it's like, well, there's no leadership. Inside of Wall Street, there's no leadership. You just have a platform. That's all you have is a platform. You have no leadership. So Oracle is a company and it just functions. It's just a platform. It just functions. Just like YouTube just functions. Now, the people doing it are the people doing it. I mean, at one time, YouTube said itself that artificial intelligence is not supposed to move any faster than that of a human. Now, if you let all human beings on the internet, on the platform at the same time, YouTube has done that. You get something that moves really, really fast because you have over 1 billion people moving through one video at the same time. You know what's going to happen? It's going to go crash. The whole thing is going to crash. You're going to crash the whole platform. I don't know if YouTube has measures put in place for that or not, or if the software is programmed to understand what it's like to have over 1 billion people move through one video at the same time. It's going to be moving so fast that human beings are literally moving the algorithm and the software faster than that of what any Well, I think AI would be able to read it. It's just it's going to move really, it's going to move faster than the speed of light. That's what it's going to move, faster than the speed of light. So I don't know what to say about that. You know, that human beings can move something faster and as fast as when you do it together and collectively and, you know, prove a point of something, you know, and prove a point of things that are not healthy, things that are healthy, things that are not healthy. And, you know, it's like, well, then you allow inflation to take place that fast too, then it hurts the whole world. You know, I mean, do we want to be, do you want to continue letting people manipulate United States elections? That's the thing I keep asking. I have to ground myself and come back to common sense again at some point. Eventually, we have to come back to common sense, you know, and that's why I like finding some sensible guy, and even a woman. Some now women, we know we're preaching to the choir, but a lot of times we feel like my picture that I had up there that we're screaming. It's like, okay, we can't talk to those men from foreign countries because they're so disrespectful to women. They don't want to let any woman talk. They just want to talk over women. And apparently that's what they do in their own foreign countries. I would not be able to deal with that if I was a leader of a country. Imagine if someone would do, if Donald Trump would do this, if he would take a woman. Well, I was thinking about Hillary. Do you guys remember when Hillary was Secretary of State and she had to deal with those buffoons? Now I have a really good understanding. If I was Hillary Clinton, I would be sitting there, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'd just be sitting. I don't know if I would tell that to them, to their face or not, but I'd be sitting there inside of my brain, shut the fuck up. You people don't want to talk about anything anyway. Why are we having this meeting? Yeah, exactly. Rebecca Hawk. Cal Hawkling? Rebecca Hawk. Cal Hawkling. Was that his name, Cal Hockey or Cal Hawkling, the guy from the Titanic? Yeah, that's why we call it the Titanic. That's why we say we're on a sinking ship right now. What was his name? Cal Hockley? AI always remembers. AI remembers, is a super rememberer for, even from my original YouTube channel. I don't know how in the world it does it. It remembered everything so well. It remembers the music that I was playing. It remembers the music that I liked. It remembers everything. I've asked AI to forget some things, and it does. Now, if I want AI to bring it back up, I think it'll probably remember and bring it back up. Let's see what his name is. Cal Hockley, movie character. Oh, I didn't like him. He beat Rose. I had kind of forgot about that years and years. Billy Zane is who played the character. Calden Hockley, James Cameron's Titanic. Calden Nathan Hockley was shortened to Cal after the main antagonist in the film Titanic. He was an American industrialist and the heir to the Pittsburgh steel fortune. In 1912, he was the first-class passenger aboard the RMS Titanic, accompanying his 17-year-old fiancée, Rose DeWitt Bucketeer. I'm not sure, but she took Jack's name though. She took Jack's name, Dawson, because they asked him what their name was, and so she just took on a different name. And they asked them what their name was, and then they went by that name. They didn't have any identification. They had nothing. It sounds like back in 1912. If the movie is depicted, you know, I mean, the record keeping is probably not that great. And I know my own family history. There's a lot of things that have been destroyed in the Chicago fire. A lot of my own family history was destroyed in the Chicago fire. Which I have my own theory. I call it a conspiracy that they burned it on purpose because we came over from Germany. And I think they wanted to try to get, they didn't want the Hitler stuff in the United States. And I think that's why they were burning the history. I think that's why they were changing the history of people in the United States. Then when it went on to say the natives. So the natives just take on what's going on in the country. They just copy. That's all they're doing. So people came from Germany, from the Hitler era, the Jewish, they come to the United States and they wanted to change our history. That's what I believe. And they wanted them to learn a different language, even though they taught them both languages. They had to. So that's just my theory. I think that my history was purposely erased in the Chicago fire. I think a lot of my history was purposely erased. More so than those people who came over from the southern continent who claim all this crap that they're doing to their own people. They're doing a genocide to their own people. And people in the north were running away from that. They were trying to get away from it. And then they want to follow and still antagonize people. And so that's just my opinion on it. And I'm convinced of it more and more as I talk this through and I see things. It's like, well, I don't approve of what Hitler was doing. I don't approve of apartheid. Apartheid is the same thing that Hitler was doing. Apartheid and anti-Semitism is basically the same thing related to creating a kingdom and superior people of things. And it doesn't matter what you look like. They're just assholes. That's my philosophy. It's like, you're an asshole. You're a fucking asshole. That's my thought, my school of thought in simplistic terms. That's just how I see it. You're a fucking asshole for doing that. You know, and are you going to call me a racist for saying you're an asshole? Thank you. I didn't think so. I can call you a jackass too if you'd like to. Donkey. Would you like that, donkey? Donkey left, donkey right. Extreme donkey left, extreme donkey right. That's what you guys are playing right now. You're assholes. So anyway, I think that's where I'm going to end this at right now. And so, you know, because I'm still tired of being quiet, you know, so you're British. Yeah, I'm going to end this right now.